Here's an idea. Television is the new movies. So it's you and your boyfriend of 4 months, or 2 months, or 2 weeks, or your best friend. And it's a Friday night in the dead of winter and you're all set to have a fun evening. So you did set on watching something enjoyable, so what do you decide? Netflix, of course. Whether it's a much beloved series, a wacky new series presented on the main page, or an old cartoon show that you want to watch to reminisce, it's the first thing that you think of before marching out in the cold to shell out $10 to sit in a theatre full of people. Situations like this are just small examples that television, namely television series, are the new go-to for cinematic entertainment, dethroning movies watched at home or in theatres. There are a myriad of reasons for this transition, but first we must define what we mean by this assertion. By television series, what is meant is popular, well-liked and acclaimed TV series, such as The Sopranos, Breaking Bad, The Office, etc. By movies, what we mean is movies generally released to be played in theatre, released to DVD, such as Frozen, Sherlock Holmes, The King's Speech, Interstellar, etc. Finally, what we mean by taking the place of movies is that television series now maintain the same functions as movies once did. In other words, they attract the same audience character investments, quality levels and storyline, celebrities, and cultural impact and hype. I would say that to earn such a controversial assertion of taking the place of movies, television series would not only have to fulfill the same roles as movies, but exceed them, which they have amply done. The first way in which this is evident is the ease of watching TV series versus movies. In order to watch a popular movie, you must either head to the theatre, shell out $10, sit for 2+ hours with sprints to the bathroom so you don't miss anything, and then head home. Or you must wait until the movie is out of theatres, wait for it to be released to DVD, and buy it for $15, or wait even longer for it to be released on Hulu or Netflix where you can watch it for free. There is also Redbox, where you can rent popular movies fairly soon after theatre release dates, but it also requires a trip to collect the movie and then pay for it and then return it without getting the fees like people usually do. Now, television series are essentially free. Pretty much everyone and their mother owns a television set with basic channels on it, though most own cable. This makes it cheap to keep up with multiple series at one time. If you don't have a television set with basic cable on it, like most ramen noodle eating college students do, they have access to internet in some manner or way through their laptop, a home computer, or a library. This makes it possible for almost anyone to find internet access, and thus possible for anyone to access a site like Hulu or Netflix that house an amazing number of TV series, from the obscure to the very popular. This ease of finding and watching a television show is what sets it apart from movies. Another point worth mentioning is a time commitment. If the potential audience doesn't want to invest 2 to 3 hours in watching something, they can get a shorter and just as satisfying storyline in either 20 to 40 minutes. Next, the ability to follow a show and its characters for multiple seasons enables a fan base to consist of a greater number of more ardent fans. Consider a cult classic movie like The Breakfast Club, Pulp Fiction, or Batman Begins. They have a huge fan base, one that qualifies them to be some of the most popular movies around. But the character investment and character progression can typically only last for that 2.5 hours. You can watch Molly Ringwald develop from a shallow, overly confident girl into a more well-rounded and understanding character, but the development stops there. Now consider shows such as Breaking Bad, House, or The Office. You can watch House develop in stages of growth and recovery in its human relationships through their 8 years and seasons, and see Jim and Pam fall in love over 8 years as well. The audience gets to grow alongside the TV characters, who follow a more realistic timeline of growth and development than a brief 2.5-hour movie. This ability for character development is one of the lures that enticed writers and producers to make the shift from movies to becoming more invested in television series. Launching a television show is less money and risk than going all in on a movie, so there's more opportunity to try a variety of concepts and see which idea is more appealing to a mass audience. Take, for example, the show Breaking Bad. A show about a chemistry teacher named Vince diagnosed with lung cancer and how he begins to manufacture meth to ensure the livelihood of his next of kin once he died. Rather a far-fetched plot. In its first season, it garnered 1.41 million views, respectable for a new series. It remained in that ballpark for a while, but ratings steadily increased until the show about a drug-dealing, sickly teacher broke records with 10.28 million viewers watching the finale. This is because the audience had the opportunity over 5 years to become invested in this man and remain with every plot twist and moral degradation. No 2-hour movie could possibly supply the audience with that much tension and character development. And audiences are growing accustomed to the depth of character, clinging more and more to television series that allow for them to follow a character to this extent. Finally, there has been enough of a cultural shift in desire and expectation to allow TV series to become the forefront of cinematic entertainment. Audiences want incredible character depth, TV experience, physical comfort, and ease in watching in this day and age. To peruse a multiple of possible shows with which to become familiar and comfortable and follow from the comfort of their own living space in the time and quantity of their choice. Netflix and Hulu encourage this sort of binge watching, making entire series available on their sources at one time, enabling autoplay for watchers so that no effort or conscious thought has to interrupt the next episode from playing. This mentality is far from the activity needed to choose a movie in a theatre, dress yourself in a socially appropriate manner, pick the most convenient time for you, and drive to a movie. Even if it's a DVD movie at home, the audience doesn't have as much choice in how much effort and investment they desire to put into their viewing experience. 20 minutes or perhaps 6 hours, movies are simply more finite. So there you have it, the slow, steady, yet firm and blatant transition from the best and easiest option being going out to grab a movie to pants optional Netflix nights. The greater ease and optional time investment, the greater ability to invest in characters over more time than simply 2 hours, the larger capacity for creativity, and the catering of the new desires of a cinematic consumer allows the new role of television series to successfully knock movies off its long-standing throne. So what do you think? Will movies retain their role in cinema, or have TV series become the preferred manner of cinematic viewing?